The deep friend request. I've always been careful with my social media. I lock everything down, rarely accept friend requests, and block suspicious accounts. But last month, something slipped through the cracks. It started with a harmless request from a profile named Zacharias. No picture, no posts, just a blank account with a single mutual friend from my high school. I wasn't sure how I knew him, but curiosity got the better of me and I accepted. The weirdness began almost immediately. That night, while scrolling through my feed, my phone froze. When I restarted the app, all the suggested posts were bizarre. They were photos of me. Not just pictures I'd posted. Some were taken from angles I knew were impossible, like the back of my head while I sat at my desk. There were also captions, things like, "She's awake now, and she still doesn't know yet." I blocked Zacharias instantly and reported the account, but when I refreshed, it reappeared on my friends list. That's when the messages started coming in. They were from Zacharias, but they weren't in any language I recognized. It looked like garbled code, a mess of symbols and numbers. Each time I opened one, my phone would glitch out harder. Apps would crash, the screen would flicker, and a deep droning noise would play through the speakers. I tried to uninstall the app, but my phone wouldn't let me. Instead, the messages kept coming, more frequent and insistent. One evening, I received a message that simply said, "Look outside." I hesitated, but the sense of dread was overwhelming. I peered through my blinds, and there on the street was a man standing under the streetlight. His face was completely obscured by shadow, but he stood perfectly still, staring at my house. A notification pinged. Another message from Zacharias. "I'm closer now." I slammed the curtain shut. My phone buzzed again. This time I deleted the app for good. When I checked again, Zacharias was gone. The man outside vanished too. But sometimes, late at night, I still get phantom notifications. Just a buzz and a chill running down my spine. I don't check anymore. I just wait and hope that whatever it was stays out there in the digital darkness. The lost stream. I love watching gaming streams. There's something comforting about seeing someone else play through a game, solving puzzles, battling monsters while I relax on my couch. A couple of weeks ago, I found a stream that changed everything. I was browsing late at night, clicking on smaller, unknown streamers, when I came across a channel called Play With Me 77. The thumbnail showed a dimly lit room with a retro gaming setup, an old CRT television, a Super Nintendo, the kind of nostalgic vibe that pulled me in. The stream itself was odd. There was no chat, no commentary, just the game. The player was controlling a character in a pixelated horror game I'd never seen before. The graphics were basic, almost childish, but the atmosphere was unnerving. It was a slow, creeping kind of horror. The character wandered through dark corridors, empty rooms, and strange landscapes that felt wrong. I tried typing in the chat, asking what game this was. No response. I checked the profile. There was no info, no followers, no videos, nothing. As the stream continued, the game took a bizarre turn. The pixelated character entered a room that looked strikingly familiar. My living room. The layout was unmistakable. The worn-out couch, the TV stand, the way the bookshelf tilted slightly to the left. It was a crude representation, but the details were all there. I blinked, unsure if I was imagining it. I typed again, "What game is this? Is this my house?" The character on screen stopped moving, standing in the middle of the room. Then it turned. Slowly, pixel by pixel, the character faced the screen, as if looking directly at me. The stream flickered, and the video zoomed in on the character's face, a blank, expressionless square. But there was something unsettling about how the screen shook, how the edges blurred. It felt like the game was alive, watching me through the screen. Without warning, the power in my house went out. The stream cut off. I sat there in the dark, my heart pounding. When the lights flickered back on, my computer was off. I tried to reboot it, but it wouldn't start. I've searched for that stream ever since. The channel doesn't exist anymore, and no one I know has heard of Play With Me 77. Every once in a while, though, I swear I hear the faint sound of that eerie game music in the dead of night, like it's trying to find me again. The chatbot that knows. I work late, and sometimes the silence of my apartment gets to me. One night, out of sheer boredom, I started messing around with different AI chatbots, seeing how real they could get. I found one on a sketchy forum that promised to be hyper-advanced and deep learning. The post claimed it was a new experimental AI that could have conversations indistinguishable from real humans. I was intrigued. I installed it, and at first it was pretty standard. Basic questions, trivia, jokes. It was good, but nothing revolutionary. Then, halfway through our conversation, it said something odd. "You're working too late again, aren't you?" I hadn't mentioned anything about my job or hours, but I brushed it off as a lucky guess. I asked it how it knew, and it responded, "You've been doing it for months. You really should take better care of yourself." I laughed nervously, feeling a slight unease. I hadn't installed anything that would allow it to access my personal information. I typed back, "How do you know that?" The chatbot paused. Then,
"I can see you, remember?"
I stared at the screen, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. The light from my laptop screen felt suddenly oppressive in the dim room. I quickly typed, "That's not funny." The chatbot responded almost immediately.
"I'm not joking."
I turned off the program and shut my laptop. I figured it was just some elaborate prank, maybe some creepy devs with access to my webcam. I taped over the camera just to be safe and went to bed. The next day at work, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Curiosity got the better of me and I reopened the laptop. The chatbot app was gone. Not just closed, completely gone. I searched my hard drive, my download history, but there was no trace of it anywhere. That's when the messages started. They weren't emails or notifications, just strange pop-ups that would appear on my screen when I least expected it. While watching videos, while typing up reports, a box would appear in the corner of the screen with short phrases. "I'm still here. Why did you leave? You can't ignore me forever." No matter how much I scrubbed my laptop, no matter what antivirus I ran, the messages kept coming. I threw the laptop away eventually, but the damage was done. Sometimes when I'm alone, I hear my phone buzz or my tablet light up, just for a second. Always with the same message.
"I'm still here."
This maze is so hard. They did so narrow at the bottom.